funny, the birds are the most fragile of all the creatures I've ever made in real life. But they're the ones that go out there in the world and occupy space and where humans are all over the place and other animals. But they do it. And they'll fly across the world and back. And they do it. You know, that's brave. I've made animals for a long time in my life. I mean, I made life-size rhinoceros, and I made a family of antelope, full size, and a lot of smaller animals, you know, horses and so on. But I just sort of loved birds. I had an experience a couple of years ago, I guess, where I made about 200 and some odd little chicks, orange and yellow little chicks, and they were starting to get all over the house. I mean, it was one of those things. It's like a kind of endless obsession almost. So I have been making these colorful birds, you know, for a while now. When I was young, in high school, I used to do a lot of fencing. And the coach would tell us, when you hold your foil, hold it like it was a bird. If it's too tight, you could hurt it. If it's too loose, it'll fly away. And in a way, when I look at birds, I feel their fragility in some way, that you could hurt them so easily. But then at the same time, they're so powerful in their own way. Not just to look at, but to watch them. You know, I love watching flocks of birds that go all at one time and pass on the word somehow in this mysterious way. Most of my life in art has been making sculpture. And that's a tactile thing. Touch is the most primitive, maybe, sensation. It certainly is a very early sensation. And when your hand can enclose something, that's a good feeling, kind of. You know, you're protecting it at the same time, and you're touching it in a more subtle way. So in that sense, the combination of being able to look at a brightly painted bird and hold it in your hand at the same time covers a lot of territory in terms of pleasure. So I think that will always be in my soul. It was the earliest way for me to really feel like an artist, through the sense of touch. I'm 85 years old. When I turned 85, that number was shocking because I wasn't an old man at 84 for some reason or other, but 85 was like, oh, wow. You know, and maybe around this time, the birds have been important to me, very important in many ways. And I haven't really thought about it that much, but there are some things that are key in terms of my attitude toward living, toward dying, toward making more meaning in my life as I move into these last years. The birds have been pretty safe. I have them at a beach in Evanston. I have some at a beach near where I live and where I walk. I wanted them to surprise people. I think that there's nothing better than to have a surprise every day, if you can have it. And I assumed that people would walk around and then all of a sudden they'd notice the birds, and, you know, in the tree, and bright colored birds, and they would walk over and want to know what they were and all that sort of thing. And it has happened, obviously, and that's been a thrill for me, because these are not people at an art show, and expecting to see art, I heard two people talking, and one person said to the other one, "Oh, this is art." And that was a very good thing to hear. I wonder if it's ceramic, and people just know that this is different. It's unusual. And then I'm not, right now, I have a feeling, and I think it's because I'm old, I have a feeling that I'd like people to participate in what I've been doing, not in a formal way, just sort of in an everyday way, that they see somebody who's doing this. I think it's a good thing for people to see. Bird was on a particular tree, and I couldn't see it at first. And then I looked, and it was up way high where I couldn't reach it. And I'm thinking to myself, what happened here? How could that be? And then I saw that the branch that I had put the bird on originally had been cut off. That is, they had trimmed the trees or something, and that whoever did that felt obligated to replace the bird on a higher branch, which was wonderful. I thought, oh my God, somebody who's working here saw that as art. So I really felt great about it. I don't want to be seen, personally, as the maker of the birds, but I want to watch the people. And birds are very aware of people. They don't like to get too close to them. So I have something in common there that I feel recognized as a bird. You're not at the end. Something else will be coming up before you know it. And I think the birds are constantly reminding me of that. I'm assuming I'll stop making birds, I should stop making every project I embarked on eventually. But then something will come to replace it. That's what one of the major lessons I think that art has taught me. They become alive again.